Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be drawing this beautiful pansy using colored pencils and Copic markers. Here you can see me getting started on the outline of the bottom petals. I'm using a dark red polychromos for those ruffly outer edges and cadmium yellow for the center. And then I'm using a black polychromos to draw in the veins and working back and forth between that black and the dark cadmium yellow to create the pattern around the center here. At this stage, I'm just getting everything blocked in, trying to figure out where everything goes. It's a bit of a puzzle. And just a black Prismacolor pencil to lightly create some shadow. There's a lot of drama in this one. And finishing out the edges here with the veins that continue on out. Here I'm working with a Prismacolor red. I use the 924 and the 925. I can just go over everything with that red. It's important to overlap those mid-tone colors into the shadows. And I just added several layers of the red, working up into that yellow some as well. And now I am blending everything out using Utrecht Nude Odorless Paint Thinner and a Q-tip. The paint thinner just dissolves the binders that hold those pigments together and releases that pigment and turns this into something more paint-like. It gets rid of any of the graininess you might find with colored pencils. And once that dries, I can come through and add a second layer of pencils. And I'm going to be looking to see if I need to darken any of the values or brighten anything up, or if I want to adjust any of the colors. I'm wanting to make sure I have some nice crisp, sharp edges and go over everything one more time just to make sure everything's nice and blended with no graininess. I can add details at this point if I need to. Really just putting the finishing touches on it, basically. There you saw the first glimpse of one of the Copic markers I used in this drawing. I'll talk about those. I used them more extensively in the top two petals. And I'm just going to be following the exact same process on this second petal. Okay, now I'm starting work on the top petals, and here again you can see my Prismacolor black pencil and just trying to block in where I want those veins to go. And then I'm going to come over with some reds, working back and forth also with that dark cadmium yellow. Got my black Prismacolor here, thickening those lines. Again, I wanted lots of drama. And now I'm adding some extra lines in here with that dark red polychromos. And also using a black raspberry. And blending out with the Q-tip one more time. Wanted a nice blurred effect in there. And I'm using my electric eraser to break apart some of the clumps just to create more of a lacy effect. And before I finish out the petals, I'm going to go ahead and do this same process on the other side. Okay, now I'm using my Copic markers to block in the shadows for the white petals. And I was using two different markers here. This first marker is the warm gray 00, and that's what I'm putting in the shadow areas. And then this marker is the pearl white, and adding some extra detail with the dark red polychromos and also a French gray from Prismacolor. I love working with these markers because they go on so smoothly, and sometimes the gray pencils can still have some graininess to them. If you press hard enough, then I find that they're too dark at times, and if I don't press hard enough, then I get that graininess. So I like the markers. You can definitely do this with just the pencils. Filling in the other side, but I do really like the effect of the markers combined with the pencils. You can work over the markers with the pencils, and you can also come over the top of the pencils with the markers, so they work really nicely in combination. The markers will also have a solvent effect on the pencils, so they will also help dissolve some of the binders. So that's another technique you can use. I've been playing around with this more and more, so I'm enjoying that, learning about this process and using markers in some of my drawings. And that is about it for this one, finishing up the center here. If you enjoyed this one and you want to watch the 3-hour tutorial over on Patreon, check that out and learn to draw this yourself. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye everybody.